This man right here is the most clutch player in the NBA.
Jokic backing in, little hook shot is good to tie it up at 125.
And we've seen exactly why over the last 3 games of the NBA season. Because in back-to-back-to-back games, it was Nikola Jokic who put the Nuggets on his back and did everything he could to lead them to victory, falling just short against the Clippers despite scoring 17 points in the 4th quarter before carrying them to wins against the Raptors and Nets. And yes, having to carry a team hopeful of winning a championship to wins against the Raptors and Nets isn't a great sign, but he still did that. And when I say he carried them over those 3 games in the 4th quarter and overtime, he scored 46 points, recorded 10 rebounds and 8 assists on 67% from the field and 63% from 3. Effectively a game worth of minutes, and those are the numbers he put up. And what makes Jokic such a special player in the clutch is you can guarantee a great shot every single possession. Even in the recent game against the Nets, where after dominating Claxton in single coverage, they decided to double him on a few possessions, and watch him here find Christian Brown for the wide open 3. Or in this play where he recognizes Cam Johnson helping over on the catch and makes that dump off pass to Aaron Gordon. Even when he's not being doubled, he can still make dimes like here, where he gets it from MPJ and it's a smart cut from Michael Porter Jr. and an even better pass for just an easy bucket. And this is the beauty of Jokic in clutch situations. Even when he's on a heater, if you cut at the right time, he will still honor that every single time. And that's what caught the Nets off guard, because those guys were all anticipating another post-up, but MPJ knew better than that. And the reason the Nets defense was expecting a post-up is because what I haven't shown you is prior to those last few shots of overtime, the Nuggets needed offense to come back against Brooklyn. And aside from when Jamal Murray tried to sabotage them by waving away Nikola Jokic for a contested step back too, their form of offense was pretty much the same every single time. Like on this play where he went to his patented hook shot, backing down Claxton, and a rare miss, but most of his misses end in offensive rebounds anyway, or the game-tying shot where he just backs Finney-Smith down the entire way and makes it look easy. And if anything, that is the problem with Nikola Jokic in the clutch, and why people won't put him in the same conversations as other players, because so many of his shots just look way too easy. And this goes deeper than just what he's been doing in the clutch. This is a reflection of his dominance as an overall scorer, with a case for him being the best scorer in the NBA, but that doesn't get mentioned very often, does it? How many times have you heard people fail to mention Nikola Jokic's name when it comes to the best scorers in the NBA? I know for a fact if I've seen it, then you guys have seen it as well, because despite the 3 MVPs, the Finals MVP, and the constant triple doubles, there's always been this idea that whilst Jokic is a good scorer, he's definitely not the best scorer in the NBA. I mean, how could he be the best scorer in the NBA when he doesn't average the most points in the league? That's how it works, right? It's the same reason that Bradley Beal was once the best scorer in the league. Oh, maybe that's a flawed logic, and the only reason Nikola Jokic has never averaged more than 30 points a game has nothing to do with his scoring ability and everything to do with how unselfish he is as a player. I mean, I've talked about this before, but he has more games with 10 or less field goal attempts than almost every other high volume scorer in the NBA combined. And right now we are seeing what happens when Nikola Jokic decides to be a scorer. And the only way to get Nikola Jokic to make that decision is when he believes it is the best option for the team to win. And so far, it's been Denver's only option. And what makes this even more ridiculous is he doesn't make this decision before the game. He doesn't decide he's going to go out and score 70 points because he sees the Raptors or Nets. No, he plays his game, and when he realizes that no one on his team can score even against the Raptors and Nets, he decides to take over. Unfortunately, he didn't get them over the line against the Clippers, but can you blame a man who scored 17 points in the final quarter and had 41 for the game? But when you look at his performance against the Raptors, that was the definition of dominance. With 6 minutes left in the game, Grady Dick hit this shot to give Toronto a 9-point lead, and with Denver staring down a potential 0-3 start to the season, that's when Nikola Jokic decided to take over. He started things off by spinning on Poeltl here, attacking him downhill, and then just the soft touch to drop it in. A few minutes later, after numerous Nuggets players not named Jokic took turns bricking shots, Jokic decided enough was enough. Again attacking Poeltl, this time spinning one way, back the other way, and the hook shot. And he just continued to pummel the Raptors inside, this time with the mismatch against RJ. It's just a quick turn of the shoulder, and that's the shot which Jokic makes look so easy that is anything but. And it's impossible to double him at that spot on the floor because he will dice you up in every way imaginable. And it was just a carbon copy time after time after time where Jokic would get the ball one-on-one against mostly Jakob Poeltl, and he just made him look like he didn't even belong on an NBA court. A guy who has widely been considered a solid role player for most of his career looks like a G-leaguer trying to guard Jokic, who just continued to hit those hook shots and floaters with that all-time touch that he has. And the craziest thing is, every time he gets the ball in that position, I just completely expect him to score every single time. I'm genuinely shocked anytime he misses, and like I've already said, if they choose to double, well, 9 times out of 10, he doesn't just make the right pass, but he makes passes that almost no one else can make. I just hope people look at what he has done over these last 3 games and recognize this man could lead the league in scoring if he wanted to. I mean, let's not forget, since 2020, he's averaged nearly 30 points per game in nearly 50 playoff games, over half a season of sample size, against much better competition than teams like Detroit and Charlotte, who certain players like to dominate against in the regular season. I'm not naming names, but he's done that on the best efficiency of any elite volume scorer in the league, the same way he's been the most efficient regular season scorer as well. The only reason you don't see him at the top of points per game lists is because he chooses to be unselfish, and that is his nature. But above all, he's going to try and win his team games, which sometimes requires him to get the ball in the post and just back down the opposition center play after play after play, which if I had it my way, he would do that every single game because it's damn fun to watch. And with the way the Nuggets are playing to start the year, we might see him do this every single game, because through 4 games, he is averaging 31, 12, and 9 on 57% from the field and 55% from 3. I would say those are pretty decent numbers. One could even say MVP level numbers, but let's not get into that. Now, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video and want to see more content like this, consider subscribing, it's free. Dropping a like on the video would be cool. Most importantly, have a great day. Bye.